Hello, hello. Welcome back. My name's Gina. Happy spring, first day of spring. Spring equinox is today. It's been a couple days again. I don't really have a rhyme or reason with when I record videos or anything like that. It's gotten different things over the last few days. And I had today off, so it seemed like a good time, a good day. So again, don't really know where this is gonna go, but definitely have been getting some like recurrent messages that again I just feel like could be something for you there as well. Just before I hit play, I just pulled a card from the Nature's Whisper deck. Just to kind of get like a theme for the reading. I haven't read the card or anything like that, but just going off of what the card shows, definitely is very fitting for kind of some of the other things that I've been getting. And it's funny that there's a river there because that's been coming up a lot. It's just going with the flow and just different river kind of analogies. To stop trying to paddle upstream and, again, just go with the flow. The other thing that stood out to me is that she's holding a paintbrush, and it looks like she's creating that sunset or sunrise in the sky, whichever way you look at it. Could be either. So again, this kind of to me just shows that, and it says perfect setting. So again, I just think that you're where you're supposed to be right now. And if you're not, you have the power to make changes, make adjustments to fit whatever it is that needs adjusting. So I just thought that was fitting for the kind of some of the other things I've gotten in. So I apologize. I have a ton of, and I even had a little scratch piece of paper too, just from as things were coming in. Just so bear with me as I kind of run through some of those things. But the go with the flow was definitely one of them, and the river thing. So the fact that that was on the card today is also, again, just confirmation for me as well. As far as like random things I've been getting, number wise, 7s, 9s. This is actually the number 9 card. 4s, big time 4s. And then of course 1s. 1s are always a big thing for me. Like 11s, 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, that kind of thing. But the 4s have definitely been coming up big. So I feel like April, I know we're about to transition into April. So I just, I'm picking up that there's going to be a lot of big things happening in April. And again, just, I had mentioned it before, this is pretty much the new year. So, some of the other readings it had come up about just the, new starts, fresh starts, new beginnings, that kind of thing. So that definitely is still resonating, and I feel like April is going to be a big month for new beginnings, rebirths, that kind of thing. Also, I'm hearing just to stay centered and grounded. And I know pretty much all my other videos I had mentioned about grounding, like with the earth and nature, and that's still very much been coming up big time. Again, just to just stay aware of your surroundings and just take it all in and really just kind of marvel at all the little things that's around us. And I'm thinking of that quote, and now I can't remember what the quote is about. If you treat everything as if it's a miracle, you know, it will be. And if you don't, you know, now I have to look up the now I have to look up what that quote was, but that was coming to my mind when I just said that. But again, there's so much, and again, you just have to kind of shift your focus to those little things. A few days ago, I had pulled a card about about an oak tree, and just the fact that it started from a little acorn. You know, you imagine like a little acorn, and just the fact that it was able to grow into something so strong and beautiful. Again, just little things like that. It's literally all around us. We just have to like open up your eyes and just appreciate, and really, again, it may require you to change your focus and look at things from a different perspective, or from I'm hearing rose-colored glasses. You know, where things you're looking kind of at the positives of things instead of the negatives. And really, it's been a strong message to just really let go. And I know I brought this up in past videos as well. Letting go of it could be physical things. Again, you know, the clearing out the clutter and that kind of stuff. It could be letting go of beliefs, letting go of again, people, situations, letting go of control, or the need to know how things are going to play out, how things, you know, next steps you have to take, all that kind of thing. Controlling, you know, trying to slow down time, and you know, maybe you're resisting aging. That's, I don't know why that came up. But again, just letting go of all of those things. Letting go of the past, letting go of things that no longer serve you. That's huge, especially now, kind of going into like a new season, literally, whether it's spring or fall, wherever you're at. Again, you want to kind of purge the things that you don't want to take with you into this next season. And I'm hearing you want to travel lightly, so you kind of want to unpack some of those things that you may have been carrying around for however long you've been carrying it around. And it's a new season, so this is the perfect time again to just, you know, where you kind of change out your wardrobe, and you switch over your winter things to your spring and summer things. That kind of energy is what I'm getting. But yeah, like the let go, go with the flow, leave the past behind. Those are all kind of things that were like, you know, coming up in the last few days for me. And then one thing, I had, don't know if you saw on the community page, the post I had made yesterday about, with the book, The Four Agreements, and I had posted a couple of the pages from there. So yesterday I was, before I was getting dressed, I saw this book on my dresser, and it was under a pile of clothes, because that's one thing I was working on today, is still purging some clothes, and I did accomplish that today. So, but anyway, it was on my dresser, and it caught my attention, and I said, you know, I just thought to myself, oh, I need to pick that book back up and start, you know, pick up where I left off, kind of thing, soon. I had started it this past summer. I didn't get super far into it. I kind of, it's not like me, but I kind of have been picking up different books and stopping and starting them, so I haven't really finished any one book yet. Since then, I'm very close to the end now, so I will finish by the end of today. But again, I think that's also a message too, that just to finish unfinished projects. I know I've personally been doing that. I did a couple little arts and crafts things recently that, again, I've been kind of putting off, and that's something that I find enjoyment in. but I don't make time for it necessarily. So again, that was just something that it just feels really good when you actually finish a project. So I know that it'll feel very good to finish a book. And yes, this is probably the smallest book that is in that collection of books that I've started and stopped, but it doesn't matter. It'll still be one that I can check off that I did read. But anyway, all that to say, so I saw that on my dresser, and then fast forward a bunch of hours later yesterday, and I was listening to one of the tarot readers that I adore, and she hasn't put out any messages or videos in a while, so I was very excited when I saw that she had a video up, and it was specific to my sign of Cancer. So, but not too far into her video, she had referenced the book. So again, I just was like, okay, two times in one day, like there's no such thing as coincidence. So again, I just took that as my my sign that I needed to jump back into reading the book. So, and I'm glad I did. It's called The Four Agreements, and it's a Toltec wisdom book. It's a practical guide to personal freedom. So this might be a sign that you should also, but it's, personal help, personal growth, self-help book. And it's a New York Times bestseller. So I definitely recommend it if this sounds like something that you may be interested in. But yes, like I said, I haven't quite finished it yet. It's less than 200 pages, so I'm down to the last chapter or so. So I will finish that tonight. But that was just something that kept coming up yesterday that I was like, okay, well, maybe it's worth mentioning here as well. So what else? So also random things. Wolves has been coming up. Possibly dogs, given that it's kind of in the same lineage, but definitely wolves for sure. The other kind of big thing that keeps coming up is just to lighten up. And I know I kind of mentioned, that could kind of go along with the packing lightly, but just not taking life so serious, and just kind of getting back to that childlike way of being that as adults we forget how to have fun, and just we just take things so serious, and we have responsibilities and stress and all, but if we just kind of stop and, like I said, just lighten up, just realize that at the end of the day, most of the things that we're stressing don't really deserve our time or energy. Yes, there's obviously big things, and there's really sad things happening. I know, personally in my own life and other people's lives, they're grieving, they're going through a lot of hardships. So I'm not dismissing any of those things, but again, it's kind of the small things, the things that we're, and they talk about this in the book, but taking things personally. Maybe it's traffic, maybe somebody cut you off, and that shouldn't ruin your whole day. They don't know you. Again, it's just those little things that if we just kind of shift our perspective and realize that literally every single one of us is dealing with things and not at our best, and most of the time we're projecting things that are going on internally, or whatever experiences and things that we're having, we're projecting it onto other people that we're coming into contact with that don't really deserve maybe the way that we are saying things, the tone, the attitudes, whatever, that kind of thing. And I think if we just realize that literally every interaction that we're having, the other person, the other end of that, they're also going through their own things. So again, I think we just have to give each other grace and patience, and yes, it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, are you going to be thinking about that one interaction that you had, that one person that cut you off, in next week or 5 days from now or 5 months from now, or like, no, like there's going to be a lot of other things, significant things. So again, it's just kind of taking, just stop taking things and people so serious. Also, one of the big things was I had mentioned the river, but also just about like and with the new beginning, new beginnings, new path. Some of you will be starting something new, and it could be on an entirely different path than what you've been on currently. But I've been getting that you want to take the path less traveled, and it may not be the safest or easiest road, paved road. It could feel like it's the safest, most secure, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to align with your ultimate goals, dreams, desires, your true self. So again, just factor that in, whenever you're making decisions, and just realize that something better may be coming on the more less manicured path, the one that maybe not everybody's on. Those safer roads and paths are usually the most congested with traffic, but the road less traveled, you won't have those kind of same roadblocks and congestion. Also was getting like these weird flashes of light, like it almost looked like somebody was like taking a picture kind of flash, just at weird random times. So I was trying to, like, once I realized it was happening periodically throughout the last couple of days, now I'm kind of more aware of it, and we'll definitely try to like jot things down as far as like, what was I doing, what was I thinking before that happened, or does anything come to mind after I see it, kind of thing. So that could be something that you're also seeing. Again, I mentioned the fours and like April feeling like a big, like it's going to be a big month. Also, with the fours, also getting a lot with like the heart chakra, and just love in general. And I kind of mentioned that about just how we're interacting with people, and giving grace and patience, and again just coming from a place of love, and gratitude, and all those kind of higher vibrational energies, instead of the opposites of those, the negative ones. So again, like that's also the fourth chakra, which could also be resonating. And I know it was coming up a lot in kind of the cards that I was pulling over the last several weeks. And as far as, again, with the load, I don't know, maybe you need to lighten the load. But with the road less traveled, like I said, it could be a completely different direction than the direction you were previously going in. And you could be at a point where maybe not even a crossroads, but maybe it's like like maybe there's a bunch of different roads you could go down. Like maybe you're kind of toying with several different options, and maybe you're struggling with sorry, maybe you're struggling with narrowing it down, or trying to pinpoint like which one you're supposed to choose, which path, which direction, what you should be putting your time and energy into. Sorry, that's like coming right in my throat. Maybe something with the throat chakra too. Maybe about communication and speaking your truth. So again, I think it's time to really sit with yourself and hone in on which direction you want to go. You can't go down all the roads, right? You can only go down one at a time. It's okay to like dabble in different things, and you know, that's how we find our passions and our interests and meet new people and that kind of thing. But it's time to kind of focus on one. Yeah, and sorry, I'm just trying to reference all my notes, and I had so many. But when I had opened up that book, the Four Agreements book, yesterday, I had left off. I was basically just using like the inside cover of the book, and I picked up on page 31, which again in numerology is a 4. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to. Yeah, there was just so much coming through. So I think, let me see. I've already been talking for like 20 minutes. So I think I'm just gonna like pull maybe from 1 or 2 decks and just see if anything else wants to come out, or if there's anything to clarify, or any of what I had just said. Like I said, I know this was kind of going to be random because it's, again, been a few days and just a lot of different things have been coming up, and just I'm still working on, you know, trying to put it all together. And I think that's a big lesson too, is to not necessarily try to figure it out. I think, again, you know, we spend so much time in our minds and we try to understand and figure it out, and like what everything means, again, like maybe dreams, and but I think there's something to be said about just acknowledging it and being aware of whatever's coming up, and maybe not so much on what does it all mean. So again, that's kind of why I'm just going with whatever comes out and comes through, and not so much what I think it all means, which again is easier said than done, because I think like I said, we live very much in our minds, and we want to understand. So let's see. So one fell out so far. Let me see if anything else wants to come out. And this is the Magical Spirit Oracle deck. I was also getting a lot of, again, just like creativity. Like I said, for me personally, that's kind of like doing like some like arts and crafts types things. Could be journaling, could be writing, could be whatever. Maybe making a video, writing a book, coloring. It doesn't have to be whatever that looks like for you. I think it's very important, again, and that's kind of goes along with that childlike energy, just to kind of have fun, and like just whatever comes out kind of thing. So I'm only laughing because this card keeps coming out over and over and over. This is the Eternal Center. I literally have to go back and, like, I've been trying to keep a log whenever I pull cards to see which cards come out. So I'm curious to kind of tally these up in the last couple weeks. But it says, there's a place within me, still, calm, steady, and eternal. And again, there's, you know, I'm drawn to that heart center there. And it also says guru, protection, and peace. So I will quickly And this is number 25, which is again is a 7, which I had said was one of the cards that one of the numbers that kept coming up. Okay, so the affirmation here is, there is an eternal and loving sanctuary within me. The sanctuary, the oasis, the peaceful valley, the Shire. There's a place you can go, a place within you that is eternal, infinite, and still, no matter what is happening around you. When chaos and darkness surround you or entrap your mind, remember your center. This is the way of the warrior, the leader, the guru. This is how they keep their composure, returning and remaining in the steady core. This innermost center is at all times connected with the everything, the all, the great spirit, to every star and every seed. Our eternal home lies within us. We can always access this point, especially through the power of our breathing, our spiritual practices, and the steady cultivation of peace. This is the card of the guru we all have within. The Eternal Center card has an energy of never-ending light that shines within the darkness. It is the crystal amulet that glows brightly when you are lost in the cave. It is the deep inner knowledge that no matter what, everything is going to be okay. The feeling of home deep and far within your being. We all have an inner guru and spiritual sage. Call upon them when you need them most. Summon their forces of wisdom, grace, and peace. You may be human now, but you have been a soul for much, much longer. Can't you feel that? In times of desperation or disgrace, remember the sacred truth. This card can also be a positive affirmation. You have done much spiritual and psychological work that has led to or will soon lead to a steady sense of peace within you. No matter the chaos surrounding you, a steady center will remain. You will remain at the center. So this also, if you're interested, is a manifestation enhancer, and it says, create practices and daily routines in your life that bring you back to your center. Prayer, meditation, chanting, yoga, dancing, exercise, creating. I just said that. It doesn't have to be something traditional. It can be something unique if it works for you. Research the philosophies, biographies, and teachers of gurus. Find out what they know, or rather what they have remembered. And that's also something with the book that I had been referencing. It is a Toltec wisdom book. So as far as some deeper things there. Let me see. I know we're getting kind of long, but I am going to just pull one more from the Green Witch Oracle and just see if anything else comes out. I'm like, when I'm writing, I kind of do some shorthand and some scribble, so I'm trying to go back and read what I had written. Sometimes can be a challenge, so that's why I have so many things across all these different pieces of paper. But there was definitely something about, renew your connection with nature, trust your intuition, and go within, but also know when to reach out for help. Small things yield big results, but growth takes time. And again, that kind of reminded me of the thing about the acorn and the oak tree. Like, obviously that oak trees take time to grow. Again, we just want things to happen when we're ready for them to happen, but that doesn't mean that that's ultimately the divine timing of when it's supposed to happen. So we just have to, again, trust, go with the flow, know that, again, that your spirit team has your back, and your higher self is guiding you where you're supposed to go. And again, you're where you're supposed to be right now. just the fact that you exist is a miracle. Again, just kind of going back to that, like, if you look at things as a miracle, it just changes the way that you see things, and then you see, like, everything is a miracle. So it's like either everything's a miracle or nothing's a miracle. And now I have to look up that quote because it's going to bother me. If you know it, put it in the comments, but... I can't believe how fast this month has gone by, though. Like, it's literally almost the end of March already. Which is exciting. Like, I love spring and summer, don't get me wrong, but just seems like things have definitely sped up a little bit. Okay, so we got, oops. So we got the earthworm, clarity, rumination, and the mortar and pestle, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. So again, I'm just going to quickly, and the earthworm is holding a crystal. Looks like selenite. So the earthworm. The humble earthworm breaks down organic material and aerates soil, serving an essential function in the health of plants. Without the earthworm's work, the soil would be too heavy and lack the oxygen roots need to thrive. Additionally, the organic matter wouldn't be as well blended in the soil. The earthworm card reminds you that some essential work is happening under the surface in your life. Nature is bringing you closer to your goal. It also suggests that it's time to confront what troubles you. Consider breaking down big emotions into less intimidating, smaller chunks that are easier to digest and understand. And the reflection here is, what can you do to help yourself when you feel overwhelmed? And that kind of brings back that like lighten your load. So again, if you break it up into smaller chunks, it's more easily digestible. So you can kind of just focus on one thing at a time. And then the mortar and pestle. Integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. The goals of the mortar and pestle are twofold. First, to reduce the size of something. So there we go again, breaking things down. And then to combine ingredients. In a spell, in order to evenly combine your components, you need to break them down into smaller parts. The grinding motion used with a mortar and pestle can appear aggressive, and applying too much force can make your ingredients fly everywhere. Use finesse. Be gentle but thorough. Take the time to blend things evenly. This card tells you that something in your life needs to better be incorporated. It could be as simple as integrating your practice into daily life, or something more complex like finding balance between two relationships. Whatever it is, take it slow or you'll scatter what you're trying to integrate. And the reflection here is, what parts of your life do you need to blend more seamlessly? Again, this was the earthworm card. So yeah, I think, yeah, again, that definitely speaks to, like I said, about the balance, the harmony, breaking things down so that it's easier to carry and work on and digest, and kind of focusing on one thing at a time. And just trusting that, again, you are where you're supposed to be. And if you don't like something, you have the power to change it. But you have to take action. It's not just thinking it or wishing it or hoping for it. You have to put the work to action. Put all the things that you're working on internally, energetically. You have to start putting the wheels in motion. And don't be afraid to go down the road less traveled. So I think that's it for now. Again, thank you. I hope you all enjoy the first day of spring and the next, hopefully beautiful spring days to come. But I'll catch you on the next one.